So let's do it. So thanks everybody for coming. I appreciate it. I know we may have more people popping in and out as they can join in. I am recording, so just keep yourselves muted so we don't get a lot of feedback, that type of thing. We've got my dark window behind me here. It's nighttime. All right, I am excited to talk about this one tonight. It's been a long time since I've done any teaching on the lifelong vitality that is beyond a live Facebook type of chat. So this is definitely an in-depth look. So hang in there. We're going to zoom through some of it. So no pun intended. We are going to zoom through it with some of the info because I don't want to overwhelm anybody or overload you with the scientific side. I like that. I prefer it. A lot of us do, especially if you're a birth professional or you work in this industry, you like those facts and you like to know the ins and outs of it. I won't do it justice as far as that goes, I promise you, because there's just so much. There's so much in-depth information. I will tell you this, though. It was interesting. Even just today, I thought, you know what, I'm going to go on and just do a few reads on some of these different parts of it that we're going to talk about. And I was looking at, I don't know, it was some random nutritional type site where they give feedback on different products. And somebody had typed in a question about doTERRA's lifelong vitality. And the response from one of their very skeptical experts, so to speak, I don't know that they're an expert in anything more than traditional nutrition, but however, they were considered the expert on the page. They answered back and said, well, it was interesting. They said, well, this ingredient is fine. This one, I don't quite understand why they called it that, but that's what it is and it's great. So they kind of went through and they tried to make a negative out of all these positives. And it was kind of funny reading the response. And then you get to the part that says, I just read and saw that doTERRA is a multi-level marketing company. So right there, I would just write them off. I would discredit their product because most MLMs will only give you the good news. They'll only give you a little bit of the product information, just enough to make it sound good. And that's it. They don't tell you the inside scoop. And it was an old post. It was probably I think it was from 2013 or something when they first came out. And I was taken aback by that attitude, but I get it all the time where you can present people with sound science, factual science that this product has been researched many times over by people not even connected with doTERRA and to be found incredible. And you'll still have people who are saying, oh, because doTERRA is selling these products in the format that they are, I'm just going to write it off. Now, what she had answered was right. It is true. Most network marketing companies who are selling supplements and vitamins will give you just the bare necessity information. And I kind of feel sorry for people working in those companies and the industry because that's very difficult to, with integrity, promote something and educate on a product that you only know a little bit about. And I've dug into some of the stuff that's available out there, and some of the ingredients are not okay. And some of them are not, up front and on board. So what we talk about tonight, I want you to know, like I said, we're going to go through it quickly, but this is information that is widely and very easily available to you beyond even doTERRA. There are a lot of people who have looked at this. Okay, so if at any point you want to see more information, you can Google to your heart's content and you'll find the product information pages. In fact, they probably give you more information than I even think they should. Not that there's anything bad about it, but it can just be a lot of info. So having said all that, let's dive in. And we're going to talk about it. Now, I am going to talk about it as an amazing product to use in pregnancy. So this is what I wanted you to be aware of as we're going through it. I'm going to give you the general presentation that we use for anybody at any point in their life. This is applicable to any stage. And I'd say from basically, young teen on. So what you're going to do is adjust the dosage, and we can talk about that at the end if anyone has questions. For pregnancy, though, we're going to talk full dosage. You need to take the full dose because your body is needing that nutrition, and we'll look at that. Okay, so these are, I'm going to answer it right now. These are safe to take in pregnancy. Not only are they safe, they're highly effective. The ingredients are incredibly pure. They are highly absorbable, and we're going to look at why. And beyond just being a vitamin, which, is great to have, beyond that, there's so much more that it's going to do for your body and to support your needs and your systems very, very thoroughly. Okay, so let's get going here. I'm going to leave my video on, so hopefully I don't look too distracting. You can always close your video. I should probably go back to the beginning, right? Let's go back to the beginning. So these aren't my slides, bear with me. I borrowed this presentation because mine wouldn't open on my Mac. So that just won't work for me. We're gonna zoom through some of this. I'm gonna close this so you can see everything. There we go. So doTERRA does not prevent, treat, or cure diseases. This is our disclaimer. We're gonna put that up there just in case anyone has any confusion about what we're talking about. We need to take responsibility for our lifestyle choices, right? And your body does its job when we get out of the way. So let's look at, this is what we talk about in every class, in every online session, any wellness consults we do. If you hear noise in the background, it's my gerbils. They've woken up. We have 3 gerbils. My kids have 3 gerbils. And they're loving their nighttime run in their wheels. So that's what's going on behind me. Okay, so here's our, I'm trying to get it all on the screen here. Here's our wellness triangle. And this is literally the basis of everything we teach in this business. I can take any product and plug this in and explain to you where this fits in the structure. So if you have any questions about these and what we can use in more detail, you can always ask me that, okay? If you look at the bottom line, right? The bottom for all of this is eating right. So how many of us in pregnancy and with new moms postpartum, I mean, you may be an experienced mom and still have a newborn at home or other small children at home. Be honest, ladies, how many of us eat right on a daily basis consistently? If you do, congratulations. I applaud you and I'm proud that you can do that. I really am. I think that's fantastic. I was on Instagram the other night, just browsing through some of my contacts and looking at these posts from these fantastic, health coaches and people that I love I admire. But I'm looking through their photos going, that is so not real life, people. Like these beautiful smoothie bowls and these grain bowls and all these fantastic, gorgeous, with little star cutouts of fruit. Like, oh my gosh. They look gorgeous for photo shoots, but that's not what our lifestyle is always going to be like, right? And if it is, again, congratulations. I'm glad you're able to accomplish that. That's not my lifestyle, and I wish I could do more of that. What I love about the Lifelong Vitality is it's got my back. It's got me covered in that sense. It's going to capture those lost nutrients that, I do my best, but it doesn't always fit. It doesn't always happen the way it should. Some days we're lucky if we get a glass of water into us and our vitamins, right? So I love that I am very confident in this making up the difference. So as you go through, you'll see what that's about. So if you look at that being the basis of our health, what the structure of our body and of our cells and of our lifestyle, we have to take the vitamins seriously. We have to really give it its due right. And we have to really dig into that and see, why are we taking these and why are they so amazing? Why are they helping us? So eating right, we've got that covered with the Lifelong Vitality. Exercise, we should all be doing some form of exercise beyond running after toddlers. So even if it's something as simple as a walk every day or something that you enjoy doing that gets your heart rate pumping, it's important that we do that. We exercise those muscles inside too, right? Our heart is a muscle that needs that exercise. So find something that works for you. And again, we have the oils to help our bodies out with that. We have all the Deep Blue products. Deep Blue products are safe to use in pregnancy. They are. Use them as directed. I give that advice to anyone. These products are safe to use. You're not going to bathe in Deep Blue with 40 drops of it on a daily basis. You're definitely not going to take it internally. So use it as needed and as directed, okay? Just like anything else we would use in pregnancy. Resting and managing stress. We do our best, right? Same idea. Again, things like the Serenity capsules and the Serenity oil, Vetiver is beautiful for resting, managing stress. Some of our stress relieving oils are just so incredible for bringing all of that down a little bit at the end of the day or during the day, putting a few drops in your hand and just smelling them. The new yoga oils that have come out, that trio, I'm in love with how they help with this category. I just want you to know. Reducing toxic load. This is something I had to really look into when I was pregnant with my first baby, because I was having skin reactions to just regular cleaners in my home and chemicals, and I couldn't breathe them in. I would have migraines. I was having all kinds of reactions and just very sensitive when I was pregnant, more so than normal. So I got very serious about clearing up my home and getting the toxins out of my house and again in my body. Makeup, skincare, hair care, just limiting what I could. What was going onto my skin is going into my body, and it will affect the toxic load on my body. So doTERRA, again, has you covered with the On Guard line of cleaners, products. You can make your own with all their oils, lots of great stuff to use. The skincare is amazing. I'm actually going to do a full talk about the skincare at some point because it's completely changed my skin. And I have a pretty good story about all of that. So I want to share that with you guys. But that's an important category too. But do you see as we're going up, right? We're going to take care of ourselves, informed self-care, proactive medical care. That's all part of it. Make sure you are going to your caregiver and having regular checkups and doing all the things that need to happen. But this is something you can do. Those bottom levels are in your hands. It's totally able, you're totally able to take care of those things. Okay, so here it is, the Lifelong Vitality Pack. And feel free, you can put questions in the chat as we go along. Skincare line, Angela, I will answer that for sure. The skincare line that I use is doTERRA's skincare line. So that's the one that you're going to want to hear more about. I don't use Virage much, just because there's one oil in there specifically that my skin just isn't happy with on a daily basis. It's just, I'm very, very sensitive skin. So some of the oils, because they're so potent, some of them are just too strong for my skin. So I actually use their other one, I can't even remember the name of it. This is terrible, but you're going to hear more about it. The other skincare line that they have, the first one that they had, the Virage is their newest one. I do love the Virage system. I just don't use it daily. So they've just redone their other system. They've added 2 new products to that line, and I'm super excited about it. All right, so I'm getting off topic there, but it's a good one. Good one to take care of your skin when you're pregnant too and afterwards. Okay, so here's the Lifelong Vitality Pack. It's 3 bottles. And you have the Cellular blend, that's the Alpha CRS. You have your Exi Omega, which is your essential fatty acids. And then you have your vitamins and minerals. They also have trace minerals and vitamins. So it's just above and beyond, all right? There's also their Cellular Energy blend included in the Alpha CRS. In the Exi Omega, they have a really awesome, they call it their tummy tamer blend of their certified pure essential oils. And that's helping with the absorption as well with your tummy. So let's go through this. Clinically supported benefits. This is important to know. There is clinical studies that we can say they're clinically supported benefits for cellular longevity and lifespan, inflammatory response in the cells, cellular energy and metabolism, DNA protection, network antioxidant defense, your immune system support, stress management, all that stuff we just looked at, right? In that structure, that triangle structure. Cardiovascular health, bone and joint health, brain and cognitive health, digestive health. The list goes on and on. It's really interesting to see how they affect the body in such a whole body way. I often will take clients through this and say, anybody with a chronic condition that they've just been having issues in their body with, this is the basis. This is step 1. You can come to me for an oil fix for something, but I'm not going to address the root things if I wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't suggest using the Lifelong Vitality, because it's the basis to all of this, right? Okay, so cellular activity. Let's get into this real quick here. We've got proliferation, mitosis, and this is just when a single cell divides, and then you end up with 2. They're called daughter cells. So they're exact replicas. So stop for a second and think. If your cells are sick, if your cells are not well, what happens when they divide? We have diseases that are caused by this, right? So a sick cell will divide and create 2 more sick cells. This is what we need to stop from happening. Okay, so grasp that. I'm making this really simple. We don't want this duplication to continue in a sick way. We want it to continue in a healthy way. So they do have a very specialized function. They also are programmed for self-destruction. Okay, so that's what apoptosis is. It's basically, when it replaces itself as it's worn out. Okay, so the cells are supposed to die off at a certain point. It also is like a safeguard for the body. If something is sickly or is a threat to the body, it's supposed to self-destruct. Now, the problem that happens in here is we mess with our cells. It's messed up on the inside of us. It's messed up in this way. So something as simple as synthetic scents. Did you know this? In your home, things that you're breathing in that are not pure, cleaners, air fresheners, hairsprays, things like this that you use on a daily basis or around people in your home, these things can go in and cause issues on the cellular level. Okay, so you got to be very careful of this. We want to protect this cell process. That's the whole idea. Okay, so here's a really simple look at this. We've got our cell membrane on the outside. We've got our DNA in the nucleus of that cell. And then here's our mitochondria in there. Okay, so your mitochondria have a lot to do with aging. There's a lot of research around that as well. We're going to look at the mitochondria in a minute. So DNA, we think a lot about this when we're pregnant, don't we? Are they going to have my eyes? Are they going to have my skin color? Are they going to be like me? How much of it is DNA? How much of it is genetic, right? It's a lot of questions that I was very curious about with my babies. So this is really the blueprint for life. In this aging process with our DNA, there is the oxidation and inflammation influence on our bodies and on our cells, on our mitochondria, on our DNA. So we need to be paying attention to this. And what is again, I'm going quickly, but what affects this, the oxidation, are free radicals. So you hear this thrown around sometimes. I think one of my favorite lines from a movie, I can't even remember what the movie was. I think it was The Truth About Cats and Dogs. This shows how old I am. If you guys have watched that comedy, super funny, Janine Ruffalo, whatever her name is. She's in a department store, and this woman is trying to sell her this really expensive skin cream, and she's saying, it's going to do this for free radicals, and you don't want these free radicals, free radicals, free radicals, free radicals. And she finally goes, whoa, hold on. Are we buying skincare or are we staging a coup? I don't understand. What is a free radical? So I thought I just had to throw that in because I remember watching that and going, I don't know what a free radical is. How does that matter to our bodies? It matters in a very big way. Now I know why. Unstable molecules with one or more unpaired electrons. This is what a free radical is. They're unstable. They're unpredictable. They cause harm in our body. It causes oxidation. Okay? There's a couple of things that create this. There's extrinsic, I did say it right, free radicals. It's getting late when. And these are things that are the outside of us. Sunlight, radiation, cell phones, iPads, laptops. One of my little tips when you're pregnant is don't put your cell phone in your pockets. Don't keep your laptop on your lap or your iPad. Keep them away from your body. When you sleep at night, plug your phone in another room or put it onto airplane mode, right? It's just little tips that we can just cut back the radiation, right? Or around our children for sure. My kids get so annoyed with me, but I'm always going, get the iPad off your lap. Get the iPad off your lap. It's got to be a reason why we have such fertility issues in our upcoming generations, right? Get it off your lap. Pollution, toxins, cigarettes, right? Toxins that are obviously going in. Look at that. Please, if I can beg of you anything, if you are a smoker, find a way to quit. Do whatever you need to do to quit. There are so many ways to quit now. It's worth it. I've had many people I love able to quit. And we do have some oils that help with addiction, so you can work on that. But look how much free radicals you're bringing into your body every time you inhale. That's a quadrillion. Did you know that's actually an actual number? That's what's going into you. So lots of love to you because I know it's hard. But please stop. Intrinsic free radicals. So this is the stuff inside. Stress. huge for this. This is huge. And it really does take us stepping back, saying no to things that don't bring us life, that do cause us stress in the ways that we can, asking for help. Oh my goodness, ladies, we need to ask for help. We do, from each other. Rely on friends. Don't be afraid to have a network of people who will support you and help you. Sickness, so any kind of chronic illness or ongoing sickness, or just regular, right? Seasonal sickness, whatever that is, it brings your body down. It brings those, your defenses down. And then inflammation in your body. Eating properly, breathing might seem pretty common sense, but it's not when you combine it with stress or sickness. We aren't breathing properly. And then exercise. All of those things can help eliminate and lower those things. Okay? So that was just one part. I'm talking about oxidation in our DNA and our mitochondria. Okay, ready? Mitochondria? There's one right there. Here's a mitochondria. It looks like a slug, as my children said. They were sitting here earlier watching me do this. So mitochondria is your energy producer, energy production. So I'm going to read this because it helped me remember what the ATP was, because I always forget what it is. So ATP synthase, it's an enzyme that creates the energy storage molecule, adenosine diphosphate. That's what ADP stands for. Okay, so when we're saying ADP, that's what it is. All right, it's the energy storage molecule. So mitochondria is a lot like the engine in your car, and the fuel is oxygen and food. All right, and then what the output is the ATP, right? It's that storage of energy, and then the exhaust is the extraction of the free radicals. That's what we want our mitochondria to be doing. The problem is they're not working the way they should in most conditions, in most cases. So again, we looked at this, remember? There it is, but look what happened to our mitochondria. That exhaust up here, that E, it's getting blocked by all the buildup, okay? I just want to see what else we were saying. So one of the things that was interesting about mitochondria, the oxidative damage that we were talking about, it's well known that inflammation or chronic inflammation contributes to this. And we also know that protection from mitochondrial oxidation is necessary for longevity, just to live longer and to live healthy, okay? The other thing that you want to know is that it's the energy currency of your cells. I like how that was described. I just wrote that one down because I like how they said it. It's your energy currency of your cells. It's your cells being able to put out energy. So that's the other part of that. Okay, let's look at antioxidants, because we've got those free radicals taken over, doing crazy things. We've got our mitochondria that are blocked, that are supposed to be cleaning through the filter, right? The air filter in your engine, cleaning things out. Stable molecules with one or more electrons to share. That's the good guys, right? Remember the free radicals were unstable? This is stable molecules with one or more electrons that they can share. Here are some of them. From food. And then we've got our antioxidants that are actually produced and made in the body. Okay? Now, I don't know if you've ever heard of the ORAC scale or where they measure antioxidant ability. One really interesting one is clove. So clove is at one at the top at the ORAC scale. It like blows everybody else out of the water as far as food goes. So you know that On Guard has clove in it, and we have clove oil. You want super high potent antioxidant ability? Diffuse clove. Take it in a capsule. It's very, very powerful in the body. So here's how lifelong vitality pertains to antioxidant protection. It has a polyphenol blend, a carotenoid blend, alpha. I'm not going to read through all these. You can read them. Coenzyme Q10, antioxidant essential oils. It has the vitamins, it has the minerals, but all of these combined work together to provide a really high-powered antioxidant, okay, program basically running in your body. So this is in the Alpha CRS, that bottle. This is the polyphenol blend. This is that energy blend, okay? We have some really, really amazing, naturally occurring antioxidants in there. All right, so they're all listed there for you to take a look. They're also all safe in pregnancy. So every so often I'll have somebody say, oh my goodness, we can't have, curcumin, or we can't have turmeric in large amounts. I'm like, that's right. That's not one. I'm just using it as an example. But that's not what we're having, We're having curcumin, that's an extract from turmeric, and it's super potent for the body, and it's not in large amounts. It's in the right amounts. So keep that in mind as we go through, that if you see something that you're like, wait a second, I've heard that's not good, or that does this, you can't take one thing out and isolate it. Does that make sense? Just because an herbal or an oil or whatever, or a food is not recommended in pregnancy. So I have thoroughly researched this. I've spoken to Dr. Hill about this. I've spoken to a couple of their scientists at doTERRA. I've spoken to a good friend who's a midwife who's looked through the ingredients, and we've talked it through. So you can trust this process. They know what they're doing. And they do know what's safe and what's not safe and all of that. Okay. Here's the silymarin polyphenol. So this was adjusted in the Lifelong Vitality recently. It's more powerful than vitamin E. And we know vitamin E for free radical power is amazing. So this is a free radical scavenger. It really is. It actually goes and hunts them down. It also supports glutathione levels in the liver. When you're pregnant and breastfeeding and new moms, especially when you're pregnant though, your liver, your filtering organs are working on high alert. They're just doing so much more work because you're filtering for 2 people. And it really needs that strength. It really needs that support. Okay, supports growth of new liver cells. It mediates inflammatory markers. Okay, so it helps mediate that, regulate it to a certain extent. I guess mediate's the word we're allowed to use. This is the other new part that was added in. So again, circulatory antioxidant protection. It passes the blood-brain barrier. This is powerful. And it's important for it to do that. Muscle strength and endurance. Now that line right there, I've heard amazing stories from professional athletes who use this, wrestlers, bodybuilders, long distance marathoners, and they're saying that the recovery time in their muscles, just their endurance in their muscles is like they've never seen it before. So I took this through my 3rd pregnancy because I didn't have it before then. And I was shocked at the difference in my body. I was almost 40 years old when I had my 3rd baby. And it definitely took a different toll on my body being older with that baby. And that baby really, my son carrying him, it was a very different experience between my other 3 pregnancies, and seeing how my body reacted and responded so positively to taking these daily in all of these areas. That mummy brain, that pregnancy brain, it was not even remotely close to what it was the other times. That brain fog wasn't there. My immune function was at the highest. So much was just different. It was hard to explain. But definitely the muscle strength and endurance was a big part of that for me. In the first trimester when you just need to sleep all the time. Astapure, this is a part of an ingredient of the LLV, and it's microalgae. Look how beautiful that color is. So this is the color, you see it going through the tubes. They're processing it and they're running it through these tubes to process it. And what it does is when it hits the sunlight, this is what causes the reaction to turn it into this brilliant color, but also to turn it into a usable source of nutrition in our body. Very, very cool. So again, there was a lot of talk about how this is done and what it is. There it is again. You see how it starts? This is a really cool picture. So you see how it starts really dark, those dark red lines, and then as it filters through and it's going through the sunlight and it's exposed to the sunlight, it turns to this brilliant, like yellowy green. There you go. Those are some of the changes of it. So Astapure is in, let's go back. Let's take it back a little bit here. Astapure is in the, I'll make sure I say the right one. It's in the alpha CRS. Okay, so let's go back down here. And you can look up more on these things. So if you write it down, if you want to know more about Astapure, Google it, search it up, you'll find it. You can search it through doTERRA.com as well, some good info there. Okay, here's the oil blend that is in there as well, and we call it the Tummy Tamer blend. Look how powerful these oils are though. Beyond just helping our digestion, these are incredible for our cardiovascular health, our circulatory health, our immune, the powerful immune boosting, all this works together. But look at the antioxidant power that's in here. Cumin, thyme, clove, frankincense, caraway, ginger, orange, chamomile. These are amazing, okay? And don't confuse the German chamomile with, don't have chamomile tea in pregnancy. Again, the levels are not even remotely close to anything that would be of a concern. And this is a different strain completely, okay? It's not the same as what the tea and stuff is made of. Okay, so we talked about oxidation, aging, and inflammation. Cellular inflammation, it happens. We have cellular inflammation. Healthy and normal autoimmune response to pathogenic organisms. Mutagenic cells, oxidative stress, etc. We've got acute versus chronic cellular inflammation, okay? What is cellular inflammation? You ready? Let's break it down. It's chronic pain. How many of you in every pregnancy have chronic pain? How many of you when you're not pregnant have chronic pain? How many of you have people in your family or in your life who suffer from chronic pain and are on medications for chronic pain? You might want to consider this. Immune disorders. So many immune disorders out now. It's epidemic in most cases. Some of them are just crazy the way we can't diagnose it, and it's just categorized as an immune disorder. Heart disease, brain disease, okay? And some other diseases. Here's the cell membrane again. There's our mitochondria. There's our DNA. We have a stimulus going in and a response that will come out of the cell. The essential fatty acids are also a part of that, protecting that cell structure. Okay, do you see that? It helps protect the structure. So these are EFAs. We've got omega-6 pro-inflammatory. Did you know that? How many of you, let's go back. How many of you in the past or even now, don't put your hand up, have been taking a 3, 6, and 12, or 3, 6, and 9 omegas? Because it sounds really good, right? Equal amounts, 3, 6, and 9, take them all. There's a problem with that. The problem is our diets are way over the top in omega-6, which is pro-inflammatory. It causes inflammation. Not all omegas are equal, and not all omegas in the 3, 6, and 9, not all of them are needed in the same levels. So here we have omega-3, it's anti-inflammatory. This is what we want. Omega-3 is an anti-inflammatory. Okay, you following? So our dietary EFAs, omega-6 to omega-3, 1-to-1. But the problem is our dietary EFAs are actually about 15-to-1. That's the reality of what our bodies and our culture and our eating does. And this isn't just, hey, eating a whole diet of fast food. It's not. It's eating a lot of meats. It's eating dairy. It's things that cause inflammation. Okay? And the thing is, a lot of our foods are boosted with omega-6. So it's just in there, in the oils and in all kinds of things. So this is not good. This is an issue that's going on in our body. We can't have a 15-to-1 concentration. So the fish oil concentrate, that's the XE-omega, is 1,000 milligrams of pure fish oil. It is sourced to be pure. And this is important because, again, you can go to Costco and buy a big jug of fish oil, capsules. You don't know what's in the capsule. You don't know what's in the actual capsule body itself. And you don't know what has been added to it. Why are they that big? Right? So my story, I'm going to tell you a quick story here. With my my third pregnancy, I had terrible time with pelvic inflammatory issues, okay, disorder, to the point where I could barely walk, and I was told that I'd probably end up in a wheelchair if it continued, even before the pregnancy was over. I was like, that is not going to happen. I have a little boy to look after. I am not going to be not walking. It just can't work. I'm running a business. I own a store. This is just not okay. So I called a friend of mine who sold, network marketing company, sold vitamins. The only one that I could find that had been endorsed by a obstetrician in the States of some sort. I called him, I said, okay, the only thing I can find is that if I do high dose of omegas, it will help with this. So can I try it? She said, yes. So I ordered these. Guys, they were like, I called them horse pills. They were monstrous in size. And I had to take 6 a day. Crazy. Now here's the thing. At 6 a day of these giant pills, I took them for about 3 months. It cost a lot of money. They were not cheap. They were very expensive. It worked. Okay, so I'll give it that. It did work after quite a time. But later I took these apart and looked at them and broke them down and went, what is all this stuff? Why is it so big? Because it was highly diluted and it had all kinds of other things added to the fish oil. So yeah, the little bit of fish oil that was in there, it was working. But I was taking a bunch of crap that I didn't need to take. So I was kind of like, what the heck? So when I was pregnant with my fourth, I was warned right away at the beginning of my pregnancy that when you have it once, you're going to have it again. And it's usually much worse the next time. So here I am, go great. I'm going to have this, pelvic inflammatory issue going on. I won't be able to walk. And it started at about, the pain and the inflammation started at about 10 weeks with this one, whereas my other one was further in. It was second trimester. And I thought, this is crazy. This isn't going to happen. Here's what happened though. For my first 10 weeks, I stopped taking the Lifelong Vitality because I didn't know it was safe to take. So I went off of it. I had no energy. I had major amounts of nausea, all that stuff that happens in the first trimester. I did some research, called some of the people at doTERRA, talked it through and realized, oh my goodness, why am I not taking this? This is amazing. Went back on it within 2 weeks. 2 weeks, all the symptoms were gone. My energy was back. My nausea was gone. Strangely enough, all of these other things straightened out. So that was my little story about how that worked with the omegas. It was very, very powerful. Has no pesticides, no heavy metals, which is quite common, okay? 240 milligrams of DHA, 340 milligrams of EPA. Okay. Oops, that one, some of these slides sorry, ignore that. All right, the XT Omega also has a nanosomal lipid assimilation system. Doesn't that sound really exciting? Basically, it's a nutrient delivery technology, okay? So it pre-emulsifies the dietary lipids. So let's look at this for a second. This is important to know. Bear with me. Fat lipid digestion. You got to know why this is important. Dietary lipids are broken down with bile salts in your body, your bile, and lipase. It's enabling them to pass through the water layer that protects your intestinal cells. So there's a water layer that protects your intestinal cells within the intestines. You need the right combination for things to work, okay? So lipid, add the bile salts, add the pancreatic lipase. Here it goes, they're going in. It passes through the water layer and gets into the intestinal cells. This is where we need them to be, where it will be channeled through the lymph channel. We know that lymph drainage and lymph support is so important in this whole structure that we've been talking about. So here's a great picture of this. I love it. So there's water and a lipid on top. What is in the XT Omega is a lipid emulsification agent. It's just a natural way to have it emulsified for you to pass through, so it doesn't just sit on the top. So again, this is what separates them and differentiates them from other vitamins. You can have vitamins with listing some of the same ingredients, but if they're not going to get to where they need to go, what's the point? And we'll talk a little bit at the end about fairy dusting that happens in vitamins. So that's the nanosomal emulsification we were talking about. Lipid-soluble nutrients are pre-emulsified to help with enhanced absorption. We want these to be highly absorbed. Essential fatty acids, vitamin D and E, and the essential oils. Okay, so this is where we can stop this process of oxidation and inflammation. It's proven to do that. So we want to feel younger longer. Yes, for sure. Right? We want to have proper energy usage, energy output from our engine, which is our body. We need fewer with aging, there's fewer per cell. As you get older, you have fewer mitochondria per cell, less efficient on the output, and you end up with more exhaust, more toxic exhaust. So again, we looked at the cellular energy blend. Sorry guys, I'm going fast because I don't want to bore anyone. And these are the energy factors. We talked about better energy. So it helps with the biogenesis of your mitochondria, helps promote more of those happening. It supports the efficiency of those mitochondria. So more output per cell. And I heard an amazing talk on this. I wish I had recorded it because it was done by one of our male scientists, and he just put this into the engine, right? Example, and it made complete sense. And now, of course, I don't know a lot about car engines, so I can't really make that connection. But if you do, you can. The cleaner exhaust, more antioxidant protection of your DNA. So it's managing that byproduct that comes from the mitochondria. Okay. Your mind energy. Man, don't we all need this? Mamas, we all need this, our mummy brains. So we've got some really powerful extracts in here that are going to support memory and focus, anti-stress, anti-anxiety, neuroprotective. Yes, please. I'll take that. Other energy factors with our essential fatty acids, the vitamins, and the minerals. Here's what's not in their energy blend, and you need to look at other companies and see what is actually in there. If you don't know the names of stuff, look it up. What does that mean? What is that? When you break that down to its actual name, is it a sugar? Is it a stimulant? I don't want that. I don't want it in my vitamins, right? And it's not necessary. Here's our food nutrient complex. Whole foods, super, super potent. I could go on all day about just this alone. When I take this and it's full dose, that's 4 in a day. So 2 in the morning, 2 in the afternoon. I do them at lunchtime, 2 at breakfast, 2 at lunchtime. I am able, honestly, I've had days where I've had weeks where I've done juice cleanses and I've just done green juices just to give my digestive system a break. I just find mine gets overloaded very easily when I travel. So this is an easy way for me to give it a break, but I don't stop these. So I definitely keep taking the system. But I do that, when I do this regularly, then I take them really carefully. I make sure that I get this in. As long as I've got this one going, even if I skip some of the other ones or I forget to take them, as long as I take the full dose of this, I don't get hungry. So again, this is also part of our cleanse program. This is part of our weight loss program that we do. It's food. It's proper nutrition. It's not fake. They're naturally occurring vitamins, and minerals and trace minerals. And they're done at the right levels. This is important. They're not 100%. They're not mega dosing your body. This is where some other vitamins are not safe to use in pregnancy. Some other multis are not good because they're mega dosing on levels that are not good for your body and are not safe for baby. So be aware of that. These are done in a very balanced way. They also take into consideration the average North American diet. So that's good to know as well. And in other parts of the world, they have a different formulation. Isn't that interesting? So let's say in Asia, they would have one that takes into consideration their average diet. And then they balance the vitamins to make up the difference of what's lacking. Very, very important. So food format, it's presented in a food format as opposed to a synthetic, which is what most vitamins are. You saw that if you were on my Facebook page, you saw that nasty picture of those prenatal vitamins, of the slime that was in there. It's synthetic. Your body doesn't even know what it is, and it doesn't know what to do with it. So it passes it off to your filtering organs until somebody takes it, responsibility for it in your body and flushes it out or holds it in those filtering organs. And it causes problems in your cells. All right, we need something that's bioavailable. To get bioavailability, this is what they've created. It's called this is part of why they created it the way they did. You have the glycoprotein matrix. You have a nutrient. It's cultured in yeast. It builds a protein matrix off of that your body recognizes. Okay, so again, that's the best I can do to break it down because it's actually a very complex system. You have an enzyme delivery system, okay, with the enzymes. Now with my vitamins, I also take the digestive enzyme. It's called it's called Terrazyme. I took Triese earlier, that's why I'm thinking of that. Terrazyme, because that's a specific digestive enzyme. I add that to mine after a meal. I don't take it before. I take my vitamins before the meal. I take the Terrazyme after a meal because it just, again, helps support that digestive process. 72 organic trace minerals. This is so important to supporting our body. I found in my fourth pregnancy, when I was doing this, my cravings were much more manageable. They made more sense to me. I didn't have crazy cravings. With my other pregnancies, I always wanted fast food, very salty food, very greasy food. And I had to fight that a lot because I didn't want to fill myself with that. But I did indulge in it. And this time when I would have it, I would look at, have I taken my vitamins today? Have I taken them consistently over the last few days? Did I skip any? And I almost always would find that, yeah, you know what? I skipped a few. I skipped a couple days. Your body will talk to you. Will tell you what it needs. Not to say I didn't have a burger or onion rings. That was my favorite. I did. But I didn't feel horrid about doing it when I did, because I knew I was nutritionally supporting my body how I could, right? At that time. I'm not giving you permission to go eat fast food every day when you're pregnant. Don't quote me on that. Just saying, you can have your days of indulgence. It's okay. They're veggie capsules. This is another thing to keep in mind. They're 100% natural. So the actual capsule you're taking them in, there's no sodium lauryl sulfate, which is what a lot of them have. The gel capsules in other companies, the actual encasing of it, it's crappy. It's not good products. We don't want to be putting any of those parts into our body when we don't need to. Okay? So we looked at that. So let's talk price real quick. It's going to be different depending on where you live, okay? If you were to buy these separately, this is what the prices are. Okay, this is $69.50 for one, $39.50 for the other, $34.50 for the other bottle. So it'd be around 100, let's say 150 wholesale with your wholesale membership. That's not even retail. So if you don't have a doTERRA membership, you should all have that. If you don't, you need to talk to me or to the person who connected you with doTERRA and get a membership, because can you imagine if this didn't have the 25% off? So doTERRA went, no, hold on. We got to make this more affordable for people. They need to take their vitamins. So they gave us a crazy deal, right? And they lowered. Now this is US. Keep in mind, it is coming to Canada. All our Canadians give a big cheer. Lifelong Vitality will be here very soon, but you can order it from the US if you're in Canada. It equals out to the same, and you still get your 60 PV, 60 points worth, which is enough. You ready for this? If you take your oils on a monthly basis, it's enough to earn you free. If you take your vitamins on a monthly basis, let me say that again. It's enough to earn you free oils every single month. They reward you for taking your vitamins. They give you free stuff. I don't know the last time I walked into my health food store to buy my monthly vitamins. I don't do that anymore, but when I did, and they went, oh, Holly, I'm so glad you're here. Here's your free, $50 worth of free stuff in the store. Whatever you want, go pick $50 worth of free stuff. Thank you for coming and buying your vitamins here every month. I don't know about you guys, but I've never had a store do that. Really, if they do, please tell me where they are. This is how it works. So anything that's 50 points worth or more, so PV, anything 50 or more earns you free products back on a monthly basis. You get points, and you just spend those points on whatever it qualifies for. Is that not amazing? I can't think of a better way to buy your vitamins. So that's what, to me, it just seemed like, yeah, heck yeah, this is how we should do it. Okay, let's take some questions. I'm going to stay on for a few minutes. We'll chat some questions. I'm going to keep the recording going. Yes. Did anybody have any questions? I see some good answers here, everybody. We're already chatting. So feel free, type them in the message. There's a little group chat that you can type any questions in there. So I want to just talk real briefly about what's happening in, or what has always been happening in our vitamin industry, right? So what happens is a term called fairy dusting. And this is what that post that initially got us to do this webinar. I didn't realize people were so, so in tune to that. And I know it's something that are needed. What's happening is that in the vitamin industry, there's no governing body to say that what you put on the label has to actually be in that capsule. Scary, right? So doTERRA has taken that a step further and said, we're going to disclose what's in our vitamins, and we're going to show you everything that's there and how you use it. So please be very careful on what you buy. And this is why I only trust the Lifelong Vitality, because of the amount of skepticism I had going in, the physical results I had personally. If you've heard my story about endometriosis, this was a key component of that when we talked about inflammation, right? This was my miracle story. It really was. I did nothing different. And within 90 days, actually less than that, it was within 2 months, everything changed. And I didn't have to have surgery. It disappeared. Everything was gone that was happening internally in my reproductive system. So this is very near and dear to my heart because of how it worked in my body, and what I've seen over and over again for fertility, for cleansing, for just getting the ground layer set for anybody dealing with anything chronic, or just for better energy, better mental focus, better nutrition. All right. Instead of splitting the dose, can you take it all at once? You can. I say that with caution. I have many guys, mostly guys. I don't know what you guys are doing. Why you need to just take it all at once. You can't be bothered to remember to take it again. I see that work more successfully in men or in much bigger bodies because they can metabolize it quite effectively. I don't find it helpful for women, especially in pregnancy. The reason being is you don't just eat once a day, right? So you really do need to make that effort to take them twice if you're pregnant. Again, if you're going to be gone for the day and you just don't want to bring them with you, yeah, take them all. They're not going to hurt you. Take them all at once. But you're not going to get the benefit of that longevity, of that drawn out endurance that you're going to need. And the nutrition needs to be processed throughout the day. It really does. It just gives your body that boost it needs through the day. Are they processed in your liver? The vitamins, everything is processed through your liver, right? Your liver and your kidneys, those are your filtering organs. So they definitely are going to process to some extent. Yeah, for sure. That's where your body processes most of everything. Any other questions? Those are good questions. You're very welcome. Any tips or tricks for remembering? Oh, Kimberly, that's a very good question. I do. If you guys let me run away for 1 second. Hang on. Okay. So here's my little tip. You ready? I'm gonna actually pull up so I can see myself again. I don't know what I was doing while I was doing that webinar. Okay, so I have this fantastic there's a couple of things that I do, but this is my on the go. You guys see this? Cool. I'm going to stop the screen share because maybe that'll be a little easier for us to see. There we go. Okay. So this is a little folder, Velcro. And when you open it inside, so it's got these great little pouches that you pull out. See that? That one says Sunday. Hard to show you when it's in front of my face there. I'll pull out my forehead. Sunday. And it's just a little closed pouch and you can divide them all up. So I do this for a week's worth. So one side is morning, one side is afternoon. Otherwise you can do 2 weeks worth. I don't know, it's however you want to do it, right? So my husband and I use this. It goes in my purse. If we're traveling, I can keep refilling it. So this is a nice simple one. These were originally from doTERRA. I know you can get them from places like My Essential Business. I don't know if My Essential Business has them. I have to check there. I don't know, Kimberly, where have you seen these? I'm trying to think where I've seen them. Aroma Tools. I'm pretty sure Aroma Tools has them. So if you look at aromatools.com, they have these little, they're not much. I think they're maybe 15, 20 bucks. So that's one way that I do it that I find really helpful. If I have them with me, I'll take them. The other thing we do is just baggies, little Ziploc baggies. I throw my second dose in there. It goes in my lunch bag or whatever it is, my diaper bag, whatever. And I just pull it out and take it when it's lunchtime. Okay, so those are some ways I do it. You can also set a timer. If you're more tech savvy, set a timer on your phone. Ding, vitamin time. I have a lot of people who do that. Oh, Carissa. Hi, Carissa. Yeah, so Carissa, I got those from doTERRA when they had them at convention, but they also have them at Aroma Tools. I'm pretty sure. I want to say like 99% sure of that. Or Oil Life. You can check Oil Life as well. We need to talk into My Essential Business in Canada here and get them to have them. I haven't checked if she has them or not. So those are super helpful. I used to forget too, and this is where I would say, especially during pregnancy, I would be like, oh my gosh, why am I feeling down? Or why am my energy low? And I would look at it and go, I didn't take my second dose. So it really is important to find a way that works for you to remember to take it. Just the dollar store, get a pill box. I had lots of people make fun of me when I was on a trip. When I was pregnant and I pulled out my little plastic pill box, had it all divided up. But honestly, guys, it's that worth it. Like, I'll go to extra lengths just to make sure I get it in my body. It was super important. Any other questions? Those are good questions. So be aware of what you're taking. Be aware of the fact that there is a lot of not great products on the market that will promote themselves as fantastic. But there's just there really is no governing body saying, hey, you need to be what you're saying you have. You need to actually have it in there. So just be cautious, be aware of marketing. And this is for anything. I mean, I think Expectant parents, new parents, we are the biggest target. Next to aging, our aging population, we're a huge target for marketing. Think about it. Think about all the necessary baby things that you have to have on your baby registry. You won't use half of them. I can almost promise you. So just be very cautious. It's your health, it's your baby's health, it's your body that you're taking care of, and it's your responsibility. So, that might seem stressful, to some of us, but that's why I'm here. That's why I'm providing that info. I want you to have something that is really safe, effective. It covers all the bases. The one thing I'll add at the end here is, and I get this question probably daily. So that's why we did the webinar, because I'm like, I can't keep answering the same question over and over again. I'm just going to send people here now. Here's why I recommend the LLV. But just a little tidbit. So we've had lots of talk about all the great stuff that's in here, all the trace minerals and all of that. What I have been asked is there enough? It doesn't have enough folic acid or folate. The real truth of the matter is, and you're going to want to do some research on this. I did a lot of research into this when I was pregnant, because I found that if I took a full milligram of folic acid, I got very nauseous, very, very sick. And that made me stop and go, okay, hold on. If I've cleaned out my body enough that my body can speak to me, then why is it making me sick? This doesn't compute to me. I don't understand. It shouldn't be making me sick. It shouldn't just be part of pregnancy that you're sick from taking the supplement. So I started doing a lot of reading into this and looking into it, and realized that there's some interesting research that's come out, not too old. It's actually more recent, talking about not needing such a high dose. Now, what they've done is they've taken a generalized amount that they think most people need to have, and just set across the board to avoid neural tube defect and avoid things like that in the first trimester. Make sure you have a full milligram. Not everybody needs a full milligram of folic acid though, or folate. You get a lot of folate in your food, but again, we want to take that and make it bioavailable to our gut. So that's what it does. The supplement does have it in it. Okay, it has a good amount. The only time I would say add a little extra of some form of natural folate is if you've have blood work done in your pregnancy or pre-pregnancy, and you've been shown to be very low in it. Then increase your dark leafy greens. Look up, great food lists on things that are high in folate, high in folic acid. One's the natural occurring version of it, folic acid and folate, and one is the synthetic version. Our body actually uses the synthetic version though. This is an interesting thing to know. It uses the synthetic version quite effectively, as long as it's done well, okay? Our children's chewable has extra as well. So again, you could just add a couple of those into your day for the first trimester. And then honestly, it's not a big concern beyond that. So do what you're comfortable with, always, always. You can check with your caregiver. We say that as a caution. Make sure you talk to your midwife, your OB. You could bring them in the bottles of Lifelong Vitality, but unless they have researched it, they'll say, well, no, it's not a prenatal vitamin. So it's tough, right? It's a catch. That's why I'm here with Oil Babies doing this, because people need to hear it is safe, it is effective. Okay? Okay, so any more comments? Night shift. Oh, I know. Absolutely. It is an amazing thing for your body. I'm so glad. Yeah, lots of people are skeptical. Absolutely. But once you go through with it and you show them just how fantastic these are made, and once they experience it, they'll understand how great they are. Okay, guys, I'm going to leave you for tonight. I have another call. I've got to hop on with somebody else now. Please, you can keep posting questions on the Facebook, on our Facebook page, and I can answer them. All right? Awesome. Oh, hold on. We have a giveaway. I always forget the giveaway. Okay, so all of you that are on, you ready for this? So we are giving away, I'm not giving away a Lifelong Vitality. I would like to say I am, but that's too big. You need to order one. You need to use it. But I am giving away a Terrazyme. So Terrazyme was fantastic in pregnancy. So let me take a quick look through who's on. Participants, you ready? And we're going to pick a number. Dun, da, da, da. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, Zach, pick a number between 1 and 11 and then go to bed. Pick a number between 1 and 11.
3.
All right, good answer. 1, 2. Anika! Anika is our winner.
Night.
Oh, good night. Anika, yay! So I have a Terrazyme for you. I know you love these. These were life changers for you too, so that's exciting. Woohoo! All right, thanks for being on, everybody. I appreciate it. Look for more of our blog posts coming up. We have lots of uses for oils throughout the pregnancy. We've got a whole series going on. So oilbabies.com. You can follow along there and there'll be information. I will do my best to get this posted in the next few days, but the turnover isn't super fast with this program, okay? So bear with me and feel free to message me if you have somebody who needs the recording or tag them on it when I post it. All right, have a fantastic night, everybody.